Get in there, my son. What's going on, everybody? It's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United with another cheeky little stream for you lads and lasses. Get in there, my son. Done deal. Matheus Cunha to Manchester United is done, agreed, finito, finished. Obviously, there's still got to be an official announcement from Manchester United and the clubs, etc. But get in there, my son. Come on. Matheus Cunha is a done deal. It's just been announced by Fabrizio Romano. And obviously, he's pretty bang on most of the time, isn't he? So no reason to doubt it. It has been concluded by the looks of it, an agreement of £62.5 million for this guy. Get in there. I'm just going to ask the live chat real quick to rate this signing out of 10. Give us your thoughts in the chat there, everybody. Smash that like button as well. If you're just getting in the stream, smash the likes on it, hit the thumbs ups, and get yourself subscribed and involved in the chat as well. But let's see what you say. And I'm going to give it a solid 7.5 out of 10. I think it has big potential. He's a match winner. He is a very good player. Very good season he's had at Wolves and last season too. Impressive is the word. Impressive. Match winner. We need some characters. We need some match winners. Obviously, the price tag makes it a little bit not perfect. Let's be honest, it's a heck of a lot of money, isn't it? 62.5 million quid. But it's expected that that's going to be in sort of installments. So we'll have to see how it happens. I mean, obviously, you know that United have to pay out about, I think it's 173 million for players that were bought under previous regimes, you know, the Eric Ten Hag era and stuff. So this summer, the spend at Manchester United was always going to be tightened a little bit after no UCL football. But we've not messed around with this Matheus Cunha deal. It seems all done and agreed, and it's just a matter of time before there's some sort of an official announcement from United. It was always expected to be the case that this signing would be done and completed once the season had concluded. So that's nice. Let's see what you guys are saying, though. 7 out of 10. 0, says Emdor. Crikey, lad. 7, 10, says Kieran. 6. I mean, 62 million is an obscene amount, yes. 4, 7. I mean, at least he's got some actual chops in the Premier League. At least he is proven in the Premier League and has done it for a lesser team in the Premier League, which is harder to do as well. And he's not just somebody that's coming over here having scored a few goals, you know, in Italy for Atalanta or something for 73 million. So at least he has a lot more chops. Plus his age, you know, he's in the right sort of age. He should be coming towards his prime now. 8, 7... 5 out of 10, 8 out of 10. Yeah, 62 million is obscene, let's be real. 62 million is quite ridiculous. Absolutely. But yes, let's have a look at what Fabrizio said a short while ago. So I was just doing my FIFA stream over on the gaming channel. Sorry, anybody who's missed that. But big ups to the legends who've come over here. We've already got 50 likes on the stream. Let's see if we can get 100 just like that. Give us a share around as well. There's a link pinned at the top of the live chat. We'll shout everyone out later on who gives us a cheeky little repost there on X. It's pinned at the top of the live chat. Hang on a second. Let me just fix this. But yeah, I mean, obviously we've been expecting this signing to be probably the first one announced, and it is. And it's not going to take very long, obviously, for us to get the finalization's done. So that's good news. Very good news, guys. Let's have a look at it then. Hang on a second. So Fabrizio said that Matheus Cunha to Manchester United. Here we go. Verbal agreement in place between all parties involved. So obviously, you know, nothing formal in terms of written down contracts signed or anything like that yet. But verbal agreements in place between all parties, which means that both the clubs have come to an agreement with the amount involved, obviously for the transfer fee and the structure of it. And also, obviously, the player had no issues with joining Manchester United a long time ago. So very good news. And if you look at this, look at the rest of it, Cunha will sign a deal until June 2030 with an option until 2031. Wolves to receive 62.5 million clause in installments. So obviously the clause is the clause 62.5 million. We've triggered that clause, but we have to pay it in installments. So £62.5 million in installments. We don't know the structure of those installments right now. I'm sure that will come out soon. Fabrizio says the formal steps / the contracts to be checked next week. So in a matter of days, hours, weeks, probably not even weeks, definitely not, there will be an official announcement, it seems here. So it's a lot of money, but I guess sometimes you have to pay a little bit more, don't you, if you're doing it in installments as well. Let's face it, Manchester United do that a lot these days. We seem to buy footballers on the never, never. How the bloody hell is it right that we're paying 173 million quid out this summer for players that we previously signed without even signing anybody else? Now that, my friends, is sickening. That goes to show you some piss poor leadership and ownership at the football club in terms of how they've structured things, because that's not good for the long term. It's not good to start a season when we've got no UCL football and not got that money gone, and then have to be spending loads of money out on players that we've already signed previously. So I don't really like all these instalment deals, to be honest. I'm not a big fan of them. But obviously that's how they can spend more. Maybe that's how they can get around financial fair play in some ways as well. Let's say that, I don't know what the terms of this deal is, but if it's split over 2 seasons or 3 seasons or 4 seasons, probably not quite that long. But if it's split over a couple of seasons, then obviously, it's only 31 million spent this season. So I guess that's how they can get around it all. But I don't really like these installment deals because, as I say, it's sort of giving us some issues again potentially in the future in regards to spending. So that's not ideal. Clever signing, says Jonathan Gallagher. Yes, I like your style, mate. That's it. I mean, if you're talking about the player, let's have a quick look at Matheus Cunha's stats this season for Wolves. So obviously he's been their star player. They've not had a particularly good season. They've even finished below us. That's how shit they are. Do you know what I mean, guys? We've had a stinker, but they managed to finish below us. So goodness me, they're gash. That's for sure. But he has been like their best player, hasn't he? If we have a look at his statistics for the season, we can see he's had 33 games in the Premier League this season. He's scored 15 goals and got 6 assists. So that's a goal contribution, 21 goals in 33 games. We don't have anybody like that in our team that can do that at the moment, other than Bruno Fernandes, who is probably getting some of these goals from penalties and stuff like that as well. But he's obviously a great player. But we don't really have anyone like that other than Bruno Fernandes. And if you're looking at where he's got those goals from, obviously the majority of the time he's playing sort of central attacking midfield, whatever. But he can also play second striker. He can also play centre forward. I mean, he's even played in the wide areas at times. He's had a few games this season playing wide. So you're talking about a player that can basically play mostly through the middle there. If you need him to play at striker, I guess he could. That's not where we're signing him for, though. We'll be signing him to play essentially like, where the Garnacho role would be, maybe. Garnacho Diallo type position where he can create and also score, and he's going to obviously have a lot of involvement high up the pitch. So he's expected to play there, guys, and he's probably going to be replacing Garnacho in that sense, because it seems like Alejandro Garnacho is on his way out, obviously with that rift that's happened, the comments that he made after the Europa League final, etc. Garnacho is understood to be allowed to leave this football club this summer if a good enough offer comes in. So he's probably going to be the guy that sort of comes in to replace, Alejandro Garnacho's sort of position in the team or someone like that. So, he's also played twice in the FA Cup this season, got 2 goals in the FA Cup. So it's a very good season that he's had, guys. And we're talking about somebody who's just coming to their prime. He's 25 years of age, 13 caps for Brazil. I mean, it's all good, positive stuff. The only thing that I don't like about this transfer is just the price tag. And obviously, the instalment situation as well. I'm not a big fan of buying players in instalments because, we get in situations like this year where we've got to fork out loads of money for players we've already bought and who are gash and who we can't sell. I think it's a decent signing. But I honestly don't think it's going to change that much in our team unless we address a lot of the other positions in our team. We have to obviously talk about the goalkeeper position. We have to look at the number 9 role. We can't go into the season with Gashmas Boyland up top as the only option as a striker. That would be a calamity. Xerxes not good enough for that position either. I think Xerxes could be good as a second striker, or in the cam role, number 10 role, whatever, but he's not great as a striker, I don't think. So, we've got to get a proper number 9. Someone who can do the business. Somebody like Gyökeres would be lovely. I mean, just having a look at his stats, it's not going to happen, is it, guys? Now, I don't think. He's probably going to end up going to Arsenal or Chelsea Scummers or whoever, because we've got no UCL football and they do, and it's filth. But if we just have a look at what this says, Gyökeres scored also in tonight's final for Sporting, reaching 63 goals for club and country this season. That's crazy, isn't it? 63 goals. And 76 goals and assists in all competitions for the Sporting and the Swedish national team. I mean, I know it's only in the Portuguese league, but still, 63 goals. If he could do half of that in the Premier League for Man United, we'd have ourselves a cracking striker. But I don't think we're getting Gyökeres now. Yes or no, guys? What do you reckon? Yes or no in the live chat, guys? Gyökeres, Victor Gyökeres, or Gyökeres, however you pronounce his name. Can we make that happen, yes or no? It's a no from me, Carol, unfortunately. I would have said yes, definitely, if we'd have got that Europa League final one and we have Champions League football to offer these players. I would have felt very confident of being able to bring him in, certainly because of that Amorim link as well. but not anymore. I think that ship has sailed, sadly. Daryl says we got 69 likes. Thank you, everyone. 69 dudes for hitting that thumbs up button. Keep smashing the likes. We're nearly at 100. Nice one. Oh, yes, you'd definitely be taking Garnacho over Cunha, in my opinion. Fair one. I mean, in my estimations, I don't want to see Alejandro Garnacho go anywhere either. I like Alejandro Garnacho. I'm with you. I think he didn't have a great season this season. Most of the players didn't. He is a little bit of an ego, though. He's a bit of a big bollocks, mate. He thinks he's like the best player in the world, and he's definitely not. That's the problem with Garnacho. But, you know, I can't deny last season was tremendous for us, and I really like him. I've always said it. I think we should keep our young players and try and develop them and turn them into worldies. You know, he's got huge potential. He is the sort of player I could see go into another team and doing absolutely brilliant things because he is a great talent. So I'm with you. I wouldn't say I'd take him over Cunha. I don't think Garnacho would do what Cunha's done in Wolves' team this season, you know, because you look at some of the quality of the goals as well, and he is just a proper match winner. He's more experienced. Let's face it, he's 5 years older than Garnacho. So it shouldn't, you know, it's a bit of an unfair comparison for Garner in that sense. But certainly Matheus Cunha right now, if you compare their seasons that they've had, obviously Cunha's had a much more impressive season. That's it. His ego is massive. That's the problem, really, isn't it? No end product. Well, you could teach that to a degree. He has got qualities that you would love to have for, you know, like a wide player or creative player. If you look at that, like Europa League final, for instance, we were really struggling in that. He came off the bench and he was a very live spark for 20 minutes. He does make things happen. He's a good player, but his final product is in question, definitely, yeah. I mean, he's kind of like, he thinks he's Cristiano Ronaldo, but in reality, he's Raheem Sterling. You know what I mean? That's the problem with Alejandro Garnacho. He really does think he's got ideas above his station, I think, that guy. And he is a good player. Raheem Sterling was a good player. But is he Cristiano Ronaldo? Hell no. Cunha's a better player. Yes, there you go. Exactly. He has got plenty of time to improve. I agree. I would not be against keeping Alejandro Garnacho, not at all. I like him. I really like him. And he's young. He's mouldable. But the problem is, if you've got a bit of an ego, you know, you look at what sort of Garnacho said afterwards and putting stuff on social media and all this stuff. Who needs it? Who needs these egomaniacal, gastastic prima donna teenagers? They're melters, mate. You know, I don't like people with a big attitude like that, especially when they're young. Fair enough, if you're Cristiano Ronaldo in your prime, you've earned it. But if you are just some kid coming up, you need to get your head down, knuckle down and work hard and prove yourself. So I don't really want to sell him. I honestly don't. I don't want to sell him. I don't want to sell Manu. I don't want to sell Collier. I don't really want to sell any of our young players. I think they've got great futures. I think we've got great futures for the likes of Lenny Yoro and Aidan Heaven and these guys. And Garnacho's got a great future. But it's really on the manager, isn't it? If the manager has had a bust up with them, or if Garnacho is trying to move away because he's unhappy at the football club, or he's unhappy with the state that we're in, i.e. no European football, finishing 15th in the league, then it's you know, it's obviously got to be worked out. We can't be having these players starting the next season with us if that's the case. I don't know about Garnacho. I don't know if it's really going to 100% happen if he's going to go. It depends on bids, offers as well, but I'd expect there'd be a lot of teams interested in him. Let's have a look at this, though. So in regards to Garnacho, obviously this was yesterday from David Ornstein, who just said exclusive. Ruben Amorim informs Manchester United squad that he will be in charge next season, and he tells Alejandro Garnacho to find a new club. Happened during meeting between the Portuguese head coach and Man United players at Carrington training base today. So if you're, you know, believing this report from Ornstein, which we've got no reason not to, then it does seem like Garnacho's going to be moved on, and they're going to try and find a new club for him. So essentially, this Cunha signing is, you know, coming in. It's probably going to be financed by that sort of outgoing sale. Possibly. So there you go. It's a shame. I would have liked Garnacho to stay. I like Garnacho. What do you think, guys? Let us know. Would you have kept him or would you have sold him? I'm not saying what you think's going to happen. What would you like? What do you want? I would have kept him. I would keep our youngsters. They're mouldable. He's a bit of an ego, though. That has to be. You know, you got to whip them into check if they don't want to be whipped into check, or you can't whip them into check. You've not really got options. You got to get rid. Otherwise, it's just going to poison the watering hole. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly there, Fire Knight. Garnacho talking bad about the manager. You can't be having melts like that. We've gone through that shite with the likes of Jadon Sancho and stuff. We don't need that sort of shite again in that drama, mate. That school ground guff. That's the problem with these youngsters, and they get everything so soon, get given everything so soon, and you know, they just end up turning into little prima donna melt bags. Is Bruno leaving if a good bid comes in? Well, Bruno, speaking after the game today, he said this. Bruno Fernandes, I'm just a guy living his dream at one of the best clubs in the world. He doesn't want to go anywhere, but if an offer does come in that's a big offer that's too good to refuse from Man United's point of view, i.e. 100 million for a 31-year-old player, then they might just well accept. And Bruno did allude after the Europa League game that if it's a financial thing and they come in above him and basically try to sell him, then obviously he's not going anywhere unless he's told to go, basically. So they could sell him if it's about generating cash. If somebody does bid 100 million from Saudi or wherever, it could happen, couldn't it? Definitely sell Garnacho. He wouldn't improve. You've seen the best of him. I can't believe that, A1 YouTuber. I can't believe we've seen the best of him at 20 years old. So on paper, right, Garnacho has an incredible young career when you think about it. He's not okay. Look, he's not Yamal. You know, he's not Lamine Yamal, who's just doing incredible things at 17. He's not Wayne Rooney or Michael Owen. No, he's not. He's definitely not those levels. But actually, if you think about what he's done in his career so far, he's played a lot of senior games for Manchester United. He's won an FA Cup. He's won a League Cup. He's got to a Europa League final. He's also won the Puskás Award for the best goal of the season, or the best goal of the year, didn't he, for that sick overhead kick? Do you know what I mean? Like, he's done quite a lot in his young career. If you were just looking at that player's accolades on paper as a 20-year-old, you'd say that guy's got a lot of potential, and he's going to get better. And that's what I think is going to happen. I think he will get better. So I wouldn't want him to go. If Garnacho went to Chelsea, can you see him playing alongside Sancho? I don't think they're going to want to keep Sancho. Sancho's had a bit of a bang average season because he's a bit of a bang average prima donna melt bag. Yeah, would you take De Bruyne even though he's a City scummer? 100%, but he wouldn't want to come to us, obviously, would he? Basically just shart on Manchester City's badge, you know, metaphorically speaking, if he did that. He's not going to do that, but, I mean, I would, because he's a very good player still. Garnacho isn't good enough, if we're being totally honest. He hasn't been good enough this season. You'd have to say he's one of our best players last season, though. He can definitely be the next Mahrez. Gary says Garnacho reminds me of Rashford. He has no end product. Yeah, pretty much. Yes, this is for real, the mustard. It's been announced. Here's the tweet there. I'll just get it up on the screen and keep it there. Make it a bit smaller there, though. There it is. Matheus Cunha to Manchester United. Here we go. Verbal agreement in place between all parties involved. Cunha will sign deal until June 2030 with an option until June 2031. Wolves to receive 62.5 million clause value in instalments. So that's the latest, guys. And obviously, it's not done and dusted in terms of the clubs announcing anything, but that's all going to get wrapped up in the next sort of few days or in the next week or so, you'd expect. TCG Hub, what's going on, you absolute legend? I hope you're keeping well. So, yeah, just wanted to jump on here and discuss the news and also, have a chat with you legends, see what you guys are saying. So it's big news, good news. I'm happy about it. Just to give you my thoughts on it, I think Cunha is going to be a good signing for us. If you look at what he's done the last couple of seasons, he's Premier League proven at least. And he's obviously got great stats, and he's done it in a team that is a struggling team as well. So that's always sort of bodes well. If they can do it in that sort of team, they should be able to do it for... I mean, we're a struggling team, aren't we? I was going to say like a bigger team, but we did finish like one space ahead of Wolves. So we're a struggling team, most definitely. But you know what I mean? We've got the potential to be a huge team again, and he could certainly be a big player for the next coming years. Is that Klarna or ClearPay? I wouldn't be surprised if they have got it on the Klarna, lad. That's where they got Andre Onana, lad. Andre O'Klarna. They got him on the Klarna, lad. That makes sense. Big up TCG Hub. How you doing? Delap next and Buemo next. Yeah. So that would be great. I could see that happening. Yes, we certainly need to go and get a number 9. Gyökeres would be nice, but I still don't think he's going to come to Manchester United. Have your say in the chat. Where do you think Gyökeres goes? I mean, we know that Gyökeres will be leaving Sporting this summer because he's wanted all over the world with those amounts of goals. It's hard not to. But if you're him, and let's face it, Arsenal are linked with him. Arsenal are second in the league. Obviously, that's where they finished. Champions League qualification. They got to the semi-finals of the Champions League and they finished second in the league, and they did the season before. If you're that sort of a player and both teams are coming in for you, then even if you've got some sort of an understanding with Amorim, it would be kind of foolish to go and sign for a 15th place side with no European football, who are notoriously struggling right now, and also who notoriously have cash owners. That's the problem. So, yeah, if the offers are coming in on the table and there's plenty of them, pretty sure he's not choosing Manchester United. I reckon he'll go to Arsenal, maybe even Chelsea. You know, they're supposed to be interested in him as well. So I think we're going to miss out on an amazing player there because he does look very special. 26 years of age, banging the goals for fun, developed into a beast. If we could add him to our ranks, I'm sure we'd get a lot more goals in our team next season, but it's not happening, is it? So I think like what you've just said there, and Mbuemo could be on the agenda. You know, Brentford player obviously is more obtainable, or somebody of that sort of ilk. Delap at Ipswich obviously makes sense as well. He could be bought quite easily for 30 million release clause, and then he would want to come to United because we're a Premier League side, and he's just got relegated, so I'm pretty sure he would want to come. Yeah, there you go. Exclusive says he's praying that Gyökeres comes to Arsenal. We are desperate. Stephanie Griffith. Thank you, Stephanie. She says, big up, pigs. Smash those likes. Yes, thank you, Stephanie. Give us a like if you haven't done so. Appreciate that. We're actually not going to do one now, mate. I've just decided to come on here and cover this news instead, seeing as it was breaking news in the evening here tonight. So we were on the gaming channel, and sorry to disappoint, but I can't be arsed flipping and flopping and going back in between and all that sort of stuff, mate. So we're just going to stay on here for a nice chat tonight, and I'll get on that tomorrow. That's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. There was literally a here we go at 11 o'clock, so we had to jump on, mate. Be harder to get players with no European football. Yeah, defo. Not necessarily harder to get the lesser players, unless, you know, there is obviously a challenge from some other teams to sign him. Like, I'm talking about getting Liam Delap, for instance, from a lesser team. But if there's an offer from a team that does have European football and they're giving him certain assurances at game time, he might be tempted to not go to us and go to them. But certainly, you know, Liam Delap isn't going to solve all of our problems anyway. Talking about a 12-goal melt who played for Ipswich and got relegated this season and has only had like one proper season in the Prem. It's not like he's not going to solve everything. He's a good one for the future. He's a good one as a second striker. He's a good one as a backup. But he's not good enough to be main man, is he? Tommy Boyle, get in there, Tommy lad. Yes, he says Cunha has got a big ego. In the news too much for my liking, but fingers crossed the boss will humble him. We should go after Hugo Ekitike, I think. Nice one, Tommy. Love that. Yeah, I mean, he has got a bit of an ego on him. That's true. He's also a bit of a volatile character at times. But it seems like Amorim wants him, obviously. You know, I'd like to think this is an Amorim signing. So, yeah, hopefully he'll get the best out of him, like you say. He'll go to Barca as the mustard. Who are we talking about now? Sorry. Spurs won a Gyökeres, you mean, yeah. Spurs won a trophy before Arsenal. Let's all laugh. That's crazy, isn't it, lad? I mean, not really, because Arsenal won the FA Cup, like 7 years ago or something? But yeah, fair enough. For Ineos, it's PayPal credit. Glazers use Klarna. No wonder everyone is going bankrupt. Very true. Very true. Paying everyone in instalments here. It's filth. Delap, the British Hoyland. Speaking of cookies, the one cake cookie thing earlier looked delectable. Yeah, that was nice, wasn't it? Okay, fair enough. Exclusive says this. I wonder what incentive Cunha has to come to United's beside money. I'll tell you what the incentive is. Getting the hell out of Wolverhampton, mate. You know, that's enough incentive for anyone. But no, seriously, obviously Man United's a way bigger club than Wolves. Come on. I mean, you're a global megastar if you play for Man United, even if we're a 15th place shite side. We are one of the biggest supported clubs in the world. I don't think there's many people outside of Wolverhampton who support Wolves. I could be wrong. There's probably millions around the world in this day and age. Premier League's massive globally, to be fair. I'm sure there is. But it doesn't even pale in comparison to the support Man United has. You would literally just be a global megastar if you play for us, pretty much. So it's just good for him in every single way. Yes, he'll get more money, but he'll also be playing for a bigger team. And yeah, okay, we did finish 15th this season, but you know what? We're a sleeping giant, guys. We are. You know, we just need Jack and the Beanstalk to go down the road and buy some magic beans and plant one in his back garden and climb up this beanstalk and wake the fucking giant up. Because one day, this giant's going to come bellowing, fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of a glazer scum. And he's going to, you know, he's going to come and, you know, get rid of those shitbags. You know, that's what I hope. Anyway, Xander, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. He says, can't wait until Southgate. Here we go. What is this obsession you've got with the Southgate belt? Xander, lad, you're a legend, but he's not coming, mate. We don't want Southgate. It would be the most hellish appointment ever. Old Pizza Up paper bag as manager. Are you mad? Would I take Edison? Yeah, spot on. I'd 100% have him. Any goalkeeper, pretty much, that's not Andre Onana would be a step up. Yeah. Cunha in, Gyökeres and Mbuemo, Wharton, and a keeper and another wing-back. Anything else is more than welcome. Love that. Yes, those are the two key positions, the striker and the goalkeeper. Definitely, if we can get Gyökeres and a new keeper. I mean, that would be amazing. I would not actually put it past Man United to be able to sign Gyökeres, you know. Even though we don't have the Champions League, and even though it's rumoured that Arsenal and Chelsea, these clubs that do have Champions League, are interested, I wouldn't put it past us because there is that little asterisk of an Amorim link. Plus, there is also maybe the fact we might pay more for him. Plus, also, we really do need a striker. I guess Arsenal do as well. But he will definitely have all the options in the team and he'll be the main guy, which is obviously appealing. And Man United's a huge club, a sleeping giant, you know. So it is an appealing place to play. You know, it's not as good as if you've got Champions League football, but it's still a big club with some great opportunities there. Yes, true, Tommy Boyle. Absolutely, mate. Definitely is a concern, lad. I know. We've got to get a couple of wing backs in, don't we? You know, definitely, I think, or at least one. Justin, United needs a goalkeeper, centre-back, left wing, attacking mid if Bruno leaves, and 2 to 3 forwards. Hopefully Ineos will do some business. I'm with you. I think we do need a good couple of forwards, lad. We can't just rely on one signing. So in an ideal world, if it was down to me, we'd get Gyökeres and Delap, because that's not too far away from realistic, is it? You know, those. I guess Gyökeres is a little bit unrealistic now, but certainly something like that would be good. Or Mbuemo and Delap. You know, something along those lines. Get a couple of players in there at number 9. Don't get one, because that's putting too much pressure on them and all the eggs in one basket again. Plus, then also, what happens if they get injured? It's a nightmare. We need to get a couple of forwards in this season who add some goals to the side. Kate Cadet says if Bruno stays striker and new keeper, and that's it for us, nowhere near good enough. Bruno stays, striker and new keeper, and that's it for us. Do you reckon we won't do much business beyond that? We're already getting Cunha, aren't we? I mean, so if we got Cunha and a world-class striker, which probably isn't going to happen now, but if we got a top striker and a top goalie, we could be a lot better next season. But you're right. It's so nowhere near good enough. We need a new centre-back. We've got Lindelof out going. Think about how many times Lindelof has been called into action this season because of injuries and things. And we've got injury-prone players. It's all well and good saying, oh, Martinez will be back, and obviously Yoro is going to be fit in the future, and obviously he's really good, and Heaven's back now, and Maguire's a stone-cold slab who doesn't get injured, and De Ligt. But, you know, we got De Ligt is an injury-prone player as well. We kind of need to sign another centre-back, particularly if we're playing 3 at the back. I don't want Luke Shaw playing any more games for Manchester United at centre-back, or anywhere, really. I'm sure he's going to be impossible to sell because nobody wants that absolute free-betting lover. But certainly he's not the guy for me and the team. Sell the whole lot? Well, that's it, really, Rum. If we're being honest, mate, see you later on, Victor. I mean, if we're being ruthless... If we're really ruthless, then it would be, if it was in an ideal world, we could sign anybody we wanted. We'd only keep about 3 players. Yep, Aidan Vickery, he comments. By the way, I'm just going to get raw into the comment section now. I have been doing that anyway, but let's just get into the comment section raw. If you haven't seen it, the big news, obviously we've got the Here We Go from Fabrizio Romano this evening. Hit the like button if you're just getting in the stream. We've got 150 likes. Give us a repost on X if you could. That'd be amazing. Share us around if you could, and also get yourself subscribed if you're new to the channel. Loan out Rasmus, I think he's going to get sold personally. It might be a loan move, Mustard, but I think he's going to get sold because we need to generate some cash back. He's kind of proven to be guff now for us. He's had an extended run in the team and he's been gash. And I'm sorry to say you can't really play to that standard if you're... Look at him today again. He was gash bagged, wasn't he? He had that one moment where the ball's come into him. He's just got to control it and put it in the back of the net. It would have been a very pretty standard goal for any decent striker, but he's completely fumbled his touch. It was really bad. It was a really bad touch. Amorim made Gyökeres. It's time he does him a favour back. I like it. I like it. Yep, Football Insider said he's coming to United. Well, I hope so. You'd rather take a ball shot from a horse on stories than have that Southgate United manager. I'm with you there. Thank you very much there, Rum. Hey, Rushmano, what's going on? Yes, it would be nice, wouldn't it? It would be lovely for us to get a new goalkeeper. So in terms of goalkeeping positions as well, goalkeeping options, I mean, we're linked with that Milinkovic-Savic, linked with, obviously, Emi Martinez. I still like the Emi Martinez link, even though he obviously had a calamity and got sent off with his erratic play earlier on against us. And essentially cost his team Champions League football, really. You know, yes, we got it there, SGF, and also Stephanie, let's go. Bruno's the cover for the Champions League revenue we missed out on. Maybe so. I could see it happening, mate. He's getting on a bit as well. We've got some good years of service out of him. If the money is there on the table, they might cash in. I could see it happening. Shaw can have a pie kiosk outside. Oh, goodness me. Sully, how you doing? Sully Griffin, you hero. Hope you're doing well. It's exciting. It's going to be an exciting summer, I think. Even though we didn't get Champions League football, there's going to be a lot of change at the club. You're going to see us doing all sorts of business. Some of it might not be great, but we're going to do a lot of business, I think, because we have to. We kind of have to. So I think you'll see a lot of players outgoing. I mean, you've already seen a few. So the likes of who's definitely going this summer? Lindelof's already going. He's definitely gone. Obviously, Johnny Evans is gone, and finally Ericsson. Those guys are definitely gone. I think they're currently working on a 1-year contract extension for Tom Heaton, actually, which is not a great sign of ambition for the football club. I think we're working on a 1-year contract extension with Tom Heaton at the moment. But other than that, there's 3 players who have gone right there. So we need to try and get some decent players in, obviously, to replace those outgoing players, but also get rid of a lot of other players and bring new ones in to try and increase the overall sort of quality in the squad and to give Amorim the best chance possible to actually play his system. So that's another thing. He's obviously highlighting players now that to bring in and sign that he's actually wanting for his system. Beforehand, he was just having to make do with Ten Hag's rejects, basically. So that was difficult to try and actually get a team of underperforming melts to play a new way. So he's hoping to identify players and bring them in that obviously he wants to play them in a certain way. So that's good. That means he's going to get players that he wants. Yeah, she's not happy about that, mate. I know. Yep, Nanny P not happy about that. Aston Villa, no Champions League football. She was obviously pretty gutted about that. Yeah, it's a shame, isn't it? I mean, they proper bottled that, lad. I was expecting them to do it, to be fair, all the season long just to get Champions League, and they didn't. They've shat it, but it is difficult. They only lost out on goal difference, didn't they? We are, but we can still spend money, Sin. Look at us. We're still able to spend money. We generate so much money. We're talking hundreds of millions a year in generated money here. They can spend money. It's not going to be as much as it would have been, no way. But remember, we've got players going out this summer, mate. We'll finance a lot of deals by selling players. You could argue that this Cunha deal could be financed with Garnacho's sale. Garnacho's looking likely to be sold. It doesn't necessarily mean that he will be, but it does look like he's been told that he can go, and that Amorim has, decided. If you're hearing what David Ornstein says as I say, he's basically said that Garnacho can leave based on what Amorim has informed him that he can leave. So he's informed Garnacho that he can go if he wants due to what's happened. So he's going to be going out for quite a bit of money. Think about all the clubs in the world that might be interested in him. He's not going to be cheap. I mean, how much do you think we could raise from him? I think we'll cover that. We'll cover that Matheus Cunha money easily because he has massive potential and he's young. 20, he's already a star. Puskás goal winner, FA Cup winner, League Cup winner, Europa League finalist. He's already a star and he's only 20. So surely we can get a lot of money for Alejandro Garnacho. I'm thinking at least what we have spent on Matheus Cunha. So I'm going to say 65 million smackaroonies for Alejandro Garnacho. Have your say in the chat, but I think that's not expecting too much. That's not too much in terms of expectation. That's realistic in this current market. I mean, I know United get absolutely bent over with player sales and player signings. We seem to buy players so much more than we actually sell them for, but I think in this instance, he will command a high price tag. 60 million says Joey, 45 million says the Mustard. Yeah. Thornster says cash in on Garnacho. Rashford's another one as well, boss. Yeah. So Rashford's obviously already lined up to potentially be sold. Maybe to Villa, maybe another club, who knows? But that's going to generate cash. Who knows is a big question because obviously the wages are an issue. Got to factor that in. So it might not be 70 million quid, but it might be 40 million quid, and then all of his wages are off of our books, which would be nice, or at least most of them. So that would be a good one, wouldn't it, to get rid of him? You're talking about Anthony Dos Gastos as well over at Betis. Surely they're going to be interested in him. He's been amazing over there. Amorim doesn't want him. He doesn't want him, I don't think. It's not right for this system. If he wanted him, he wouldn't have let him go out on loan, would he? So I'm sure he's happy to see Anthony Dos Santos sold. Anthony's put himself in the best position possible now by playing well the last few months, because he is going to command a higher price tag than he would have done now. So that's great news. He should be saleable. So he's another one that we can get rid of. Timo Schaaf to get 40 million for Garnacho. Ideally 70 million, but it'll be 55 million probably. 50 to 60 million for Ghana, maybe 70 with payment plan. Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking as well. I think you're about right there, really, Stephen, in that range. 25 at most. I mean, that's definitely not going to happen, is it, Zip? He's a much better player than that. And just on potential alone, he'd be worth at least twice that. Garnacho isn't that good and super consistent. Well, as I was saying earlier, he thinks he's Cristiano Ronaldo, but he's Raheem Sterling. That's the reality. So, yeah, he is a good player, but he's not, he's not crazily good. Luke Shaw needs to go, definitely, 100%. He's a charter. Definitely, he's got to go. He's got 3 years left on his contract, hasn't he? Is that right? I mean, that's obscene. That's criminal, in fact. That guy could be tied to this club for another few seasons, taking money out and just playing sporadically. He's going to spend most of the season injured and then he'll miraculously be fit for the World Cup next summer. You know that's going to happen. Yeah, could get 30 for Slabhead easy. We could, but actually, from what he adds to the squad right now and his character and everything, leadership qualities, I honestly, I think he's done a really great job this season, Slabby. I love the guy. I absolutely love the guy. A very few world-class player fits this 3-4-3 guff system. I mean, I'm not so sure about that Ezio. Okay, fair enough, that might not be the norm, but good players. You can definitely get wing-backs that can, play this sort of system. And good players are good players. If you've got a goal scorer, and as long as you can get them serviced, they're going to score goals, aren't they? It doesn't really matter what system they're playing, as long as they can, get the service they need. It's on the rest of the team to do it, really. But yeah. Hey, yo, Rajat, what's happening? Anthony Dos Castos, you know it. Dreaming if you think he's worth close to 70. Well, I said 65. That is quite close to 70. I'm just being honest. That's what I think he's worth. If Matheus Cunha is worth 62.5 and Rasmus Højlund is worth 73, which he obviously isn't, and we paid 85 million for Anthony, look, players are worth obscene amounts of money these days. I think he is worth 65 million in this current market. He's a young player with so much potential. Yeah, give Luke Shaw away. I would like to see if Frey Bentos FC want to take him on loan. Anthony and Rashford have killed it out on loan with Villa and Betis. So he's already... True. I mean, look at McTominay as well over in Napoli. He's done bits. He's won Serie A. If you change McTominay's name to Rodriguez and he was an Argentine instead of Scottish but still performed the same exact way for Napoli, he would be worth 100 million. And United would be in for him. So true. And the same with Anthony, lad. If Anthony was not a United player, but he was putting up those sorts of stats and highlights that he has done for Betis since he's gone over there, you'd be interested in him as well for a lot of money. That's true. You've said for years we need a season out of Europe. Yeah, maybe, Luke. It could be a good reset for us. It's true. It's going to get rid of some of the melters who just want to be here for the wrong reasons, perhaps. Like, they don't truly love the club or they're not prepared to sort of fight their way back for the club. And they're just melters, weak characters. We don't need those sorts of guys. To be fair to Shaw, his leg injury could have been career-ending. Yeah, he wasn't quite ever the same properly after that, I guess. Slab's had a good season, definitely. So this week we're going to be doing a bunch of fun United sort of season end videos. So there will be a season recap video of, highlights and lowlights and all that sort of shite this season, which will probably be like 2 hours long. And then also we're going to do a Man United awards stream, which is going to be like picking, the most improved player, the best player, the gaseous player, all that sort of stuff. We'll be doing that. And then I'm also going to do a ranking every single Manchester United player season video like I usually do as well, sort of from A to F. So we'll do that as well this week. We'll do a bunch of stuff this week, guys, so keep a lookout for those. Yep, United have more success with 2 strikers. Well, if you're going back in time, Trevor, fair one. But teams don't often play with 2 up top these days. You look at most of the teams in the Prem, they're operating with 1 striker or they got like a front 3, so look at Salah. Salah's the Golden Boot winner. He's not a striker. So the game has changed in that regard. 4-3-3, or, like Amorim's obviously going to try and play essentially a variation of a 3-4-3. Essentially it's a variation. Top Premier teams know how Amorim wants to play. He is a one-trick pony. He needs other tactics, but arrogance will stop him achieving anything. Don't know about that, really, James. I don't know about that, lad. I mean, obviously, he's been brought in to play a certain system. They knew what they were getting with him. He's sticking to his guns because he's trying to change things at the club. He could have easily played a similar formation to what they were playing beforehand and not changed that much for this season. But then he wouldn't have had the leg up on the next season that he's now got. Now we've gone through this shite. Now he's learned a lot about these players, what they can do, what they can't do. I think it's put us in a decent position for next season. Aiden says we need more Timo. I'm going to work on it, lad. I'll get you some Timo action going. Tough competition for Gaseous player. That's very true, Xander. That's going to be a long nominations list, isn't it? That's a long nominations list. Ryan says Maguire's been crap by his own standards, been good, but by actual Man United standards, it's been rubbish. I don't agree with that personally. I actually think he's been very good for Manchester United standards. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's not Rio or Vidic, but think about some of the moments he's had this season. He's had some big moments for the club. What about that semi-final there? I think Slabby's been very good this season, man. 4-4-2 and 4-3-3 has been our staple. It's in our DNA. 442, I agree. Just can't see it happening. Just can't see it happening. Pig, react to your Premier League predictions. Oh, yes, and that one as well. Yeah. I've got to react to that one as well. I will. That's a good idea, Thorns. That's another one. So we're going to have loads of content like that this week, just running down the season. All good. Now get on to the next. Yeah, definitely. You give Onana a very low rating because of our goal difference. Oh, yes, he's going to be right down there, mate, 100%. He might even have his own section. F for Flubberhand. You know what I'm saying? You believe Ruben will be the Premier League down the line, win the Premier League? Look, he's got potential, hasn't he? That's all I know. Now, can he reach that potential? Big question. He's a young manager. Doesn't have a huge amount of experience coming in from the Portuguese league. We've said there's a lot of similarities with his CV and Ten Hag's before we got Ten Hag. Like from a lesser league, but doing well. Lots of good positives there. But, you know, so far it's been unable to sort of make it work in the Premier League. Same with Ten Hag. But Amarim's only just come in. He needs to be backed. Cunha will get Man United from 15th to 12th. Right, we just need a few more players now to get us more up there then. Who would you pick as captain if Bruno does go? Oh, great question, Simon. It's a great question. That's a great question, mate. Slabby Maguire. I don't know. It's a great question, mate. It really is. I don't know if we've really got great candidates right now to be the captain other than sort of the likes of Bruno. You know, I guess De Ligt would be a decent leader. Who else? Ugarte's got potential maybe, but nah. I don't know. Are you wrong for wanting Osimhen over Gyökeres? Nah, you're not, mate. Osimhen's a classy player. Slightly even more unrealistic than Gyökeres at this stage, though. That comeback against Lyon seems a waste now because we lost in Europe. Yeah, true. But it's still a fantastic moment, wasn't it, in the season? I mean, what a euphoric moment. You missed McTominay. Same, Susan. I know, never thought I'd say that, but we should have really never got rid of him. Garnacho's price will go down because teams know we're desperate to sell him now in recent performances. Maybe, but all you need is a couple of teams interested and it pushes the price up again, you know. Fair enough if one team's interested, but if you've got several, then you can command what he's worth in the market, you know. We need 8 to 12 sold for 200 to 250 million this summer. Yeah, and we'll probably only be able to actually use about, half of that to actually buy players with. Like, they're not going to, you know, use all of that on player signings. Do you think we get Mbeumo and Delap? I think that's way more realistic now, Harry. Yeah, do. I think probably our plans have changed somewhat because of the lack of Champions League. So, yes, we probably have turned our attention to the likes of Mbeumo and Delap. Maguire didn't improve. The other players got worse. Maybe. Osimhen you would take. Cassie. I mean, Cassie for captain. Yeah, Cassie's an absolute born leader. But the thing is with Cassie, right, even though Cassie's been great for us for several months, in an ideal world, we'd sell him this summer. And it's not because he's not a good player, because he is. But he's a bit of a relic. He's a bit old. You know, what can he really offer us long term? If you can get him off the books and get money for him. Remember, Cassie's on a few £100,000 a week. He's a good player, but is he £300,000 a week worth of good player? I don't know. I personally think we've got to try and look to move him on this summer to Saudi or something if we can. And I like Cassie. But if we're talking about selling Bruno, bloody hell, we should be talking about selling Cassie. Do you know what I mean? Because Bruno is somebody that we should be keeping all of 100% unless there's a crazy money offer comes in. Cassie can basically go for nothing, if you ask me, because of how much he's on and how old he is. Cassie not going to start every game? Yep, true. You take Visser over Delap. Great shout. Yeah, also great option. I mean, Delap, the thing that appeals about Delap is there's a 30 million release clause on his deal, isn't there? So you can guarantee getting in for 30. United just need to get midfield fullbacks front free from PSG and I predict a much better season. You told us about McTominay. You said at the time everyone would regret it. I'm saying the exact same about Rashford too. It's going to be an even bigger mistake. Rashy and Scott love United. Fair enough, but it would be nice if he told his face that then, Ryan, when he plays for us, because people have gone against Rashford because of his gashtastic efforts in the actual games and stuff, and his performances, and his head's gone merchant sort of mode that he goes into, you know, where he looks like a little sulk, and he doesn't try, and he doesn't run, and he gives up. That's why people lost it with him. McTominay, you could never say that about, no. But Rashford, I'm sorry, but, you know, he has been a bit of a gasher. You're going to sleep, Kate. Have a great sleep, you legend. Appreciate you. It was same next season. Can't get all the players out in this summer. It will be next year. Yeah, fair one. Miss Greenwood, yeah, true, great player, but a shithouse. Paying in installments is good business. Only takes 15 million off the budget. Get rid of a few. Leave us around 120. There you go. I think that's why they've done it, really. They're going to try and get everyone on the never. Big up, Xander says Cassie should go full-time at the kebab shop. Steady on there, Xander. There's no need, is there, lad? You want salt and vinegar on chip, mate? Are we keeping Dalot or will he go? I think we should keep him, mate. He's one of the players I think is good in the squad. He's versatile. It is too much money, Chabsy. Yeah, we've gone over that. But it's in installments, so we don't have to pay all of it up front, which means that it's, it is spread out, which is good. So that's probably why we've ended up paying a little bit more. But it's actually his release clause, 62.5 million release clause, but in installments. Shows how the lack of leaders we have at the club, sign leaders, potential future captains. Definitely. I'd much rather a player like, say, I don't know, right now for our team, I'm just trying to think of someone who's a good character. I know it's not realistic, but like a Jared Bowen. I'd rather a player like Jared Bowen compared to someone like, I don't know, Osman right now. Even though on paper Osman's a way better player, like Bowen's got a way better character. He's not a prima donna melt. He's not an ego. Now he's probably not going to leave West Ham. I'm not saying that, and we're not even linked with him or anything. I'm just using him as an example of someone who's like a real hard worker. Or that Adam Wharton, like that sort of a signing. It's not a Hollywood signing. It's not a really attractive signing, but it is a no-nonsense, hard-working character of a signing. That's what United need right now. A few of those. Delap's what we need. People are just looking at Ipswich but forgetting the fact he can play in the league. Definitely, yeah. 12 goals even for Ipswich in the Prem. Could Rashford join Green at Marseille? Doubt they can afford him. Yes, not officially by Manchester United, RK, but if you have a look at this is from Fabrizio Romano this evening. I'll just pop it up on the screen again there. Matheus Cunha to Manchester United. Here we go. Verbal agreements in place between all parties. So fees agreed. Terms of the deal agreed in terms of the structure and the instalments and that sort of stuff. £62.5 million. All agreed between all parties. So all the clubs have been agreed. Players obviously agreed in terms of his side. So yes, it is done. Fab said it's done. It'll probably be announced by the club in, the next week. They've obviously got to complete different documents and formalizations. But once that's done, it will be announced. Whether people want to face it or not, Delap's our level at the moment. Well, yeah, I mean, he's actually a good signing anyway because he's 22 and he has potential. And I like players with potential who could go on and do some really great things. He might be a flop, but in this market, 30 million is not a huge gamble, is it? Does signing Cunha mean Garnacho will be pushed out? Probably, mate. I could see him being essentially almost a direct replacement for him. Does seem like he's going. The Butcher for captain. Nice one, Joey. Only problem is he's not fit, is he? Hardly ever. Rashford doesn't have football in general any longer. Do you not reckon? I don't know. I mean, he doesn't seem to really play with a great deal of joy. You won't be on tour in Hong Kong. Don't be tricked by this PR go, guys. We want more yet. Oh, definitely, man. You would like to see Cunha sign on Sky Sports. I mean, Sky Sports doesn't mean shite, lad. Do you know what I mean? Sky Sports is absolute guff, to be honest. Do you know what I'm saying? I think you're the first United streamer to do the Cunha news. All the other channels are sleeping. Oh, really? Well, that's banging then. Thank you, everyone who's watching this stream late night. Yeah, we're almost at 200 likes. Hit the thumbs up button. I'm going to read a few more comments out now. Danny Dyer is Bowen's future father-in-law. Yeah, I know. Funny as, isn't it? Crazy, mate. He's a proper West Ham fan, isn't he, Danny Dyer? He loves him. Fitzy Garnacho is leaving. Yeah, so the Garnacho situation as per, David Ornstein. I'll put that up on the screen for anybody that just wants to read that. That is the current situation that's expected to be the case, where Ruben Amorim informs United squad that he will be in charge next season, and he tells Alejandro Garnacho to find a new club. So it does seem like if we can get a decent offer in, we will sell him. Thank you, kind sir. Yes, it's more or less official, RK. Yeah, obviously not quite because the clubs need to complete it, but obviously Fab said, here we go. Just looks good in a shit team. I don't know. I think it's kind of harder to look good in a shit team than it is to look good in a good team. Personally, if you're shining in a squad of absolute guffness and the team's not even great, but you're still shining, surely that's a harder thing to do than go and be part of a better team. Think about like Grealish at Aston Villa. Now, ask yourself this question honestly. Has Grealish looked better while he's been at City or at Villa when he was at Villa? Did he look better at City or did he look better at Villa? Now, obviously, he played a lot more for Villa. He's a way bigger player for Villa. But in terms of what he actually gave to Villa, he was a much bigger, better player for Villa. It's not necessarily his fault because he barely plays and he sporadically plays under Pep at City and they got a huge squad and all the rest of it. But certainly, he was like a massive player for Villa. So if you can do it for a lesser team, why can't you go and do it for a bigger team, man? I don't know. Villa, yeah, anyway. Lukaku only shining because the Serie A suits him. I sort of did myself over in terms of the point I was making there. I was trying to say that a player who can do it at a lesser team shows you great potential. He can come and do it for a big team. But then I somehow said that he was good at a littler team, but shitter at a big team. So, you know. But he has had some moments at City, definitely, yeah. Villa. You generally think Amarin turns Cunha into world-class 10? I hope so, mate. I played youth football, Trevor Stafford, for many years and for my school teams and stuff, yeah. Never professionally or anything, Trevor, no. Do Bruno and Cunha fit well together? Both of them in the midfield would leave wide open. Sully, in my opinion, right, this could be mangasmic, lad. I'd actually have Bruno and Cunha in behind a proper number 9. Imagine Gyökeres up front with Bruno and Cunha in behind. That'd be amazing. Vardy to Arsenal, I'd definitely have him at United. Big Fishman Pond. Think it means you're better if you're good in a shit team because it's hard to play good with shit around. That's what I'm thinking, Gary, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Not really, Shander, no. Honestly, as sad as it is, really, Shander, we're not competing with Liverpool at the moment. Our job is just to get United back up there, somewhere in the reaches of European football next season. It's not to compete with Liverpool for the league. That's just not going to happen, is it? They'll do what they do, and they're in a great place to sign great talents, and, you know, they'll do a lot of business. Okay, anyway, guys, I'm going to pretty much wrap this stream up now. It's just a late night stream here. Had to jump on with the news. Big here we go there. Has been announced there by Fab that the deal is done. Thank you so much to everybody who's watched this stream. Feel free to come back afterwards. Rate this signing out of 10 in the not live comment section afterwards and get your thoughts and opinions about the deal. I like the signing. I like the player. The only thing I don't like is the price tag. You know, that is a lot of money to pay for him. But this market's just crazy these days. And look, let's face it, United just get bent over for anyone we sign. I definitely would, Ezio. I know he's a scummer, and I know a lot of people don't like him. I think he's a baller. I think he's a good player who's just sort of shackled with lack of opportunities, really. But he is the sort of player that I think could be very good at a club like Man United right now. He's got a bit of bollocks about him. He makes things happen. He takes people on. He wins fouls. You know, he creates danger. I rate Grealish. I always have done, to be fair. Even though he's a bit of a soppy melt, I do really rate him as a footballer. I think he's good. How many years were you a youth? How many years were you a youth? How many years was I a youth? 18 years, mate, until I was an adult. Get rid of Dallo. He's shite. He only fits in it 4 at the back, not as a wing back. Yes. Cunha 10 could be Joey. It's interesting. Thank you, Zip. Thank you, Jonathan, Faunster, Juggalo, everyone in the live chat. Big ups to all of you. Big up Stephen Shipman, Ryan, Susan. Sorry about the gaming stream. We'll be back on it tomorrow. We'll do a speed run, lad. Yeah, we'll do a speed run. 100% we'll do a speed run tomorrow, mate. Yes. Nice one, Stephen, Chappie, Simon, Ryan, Joey, Sharky. Come back afterwards and have your say. Let's go, Simon. Let's go square window. Come back after and have your say. But get in there, my friends. Matheus Cunha to United. It's not announced yet, obviously, by the clubs, but Fab said, here we go, so it's pretty much good as done. Give it a week and he should be a Manchester United player. Obviously, he won't be on those tour games against Hong Kong or the Asian All-Stars, but obviously in pre-season, when we're back in July or whatever, he will be. So there you go. We can look forward to seeing him play in pre-season. Guys, I'll see you later. Thanks for watching. Come back and have your say in the not live comment section. Have a great night. Matheus Cunha, here we go. Get it there, my son. Done deal. And I'll see you on the next one. Done and dusted, my friends. And remember, Piggy loves you. And also remember, follow us on Insta, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, and Kick at Flying Pig United. And check out the website, flyingpigunited.com. And also remember, when the seagulls follow the trawler, this is because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea. Thank you very much. Get in there, you beauties. Thank you so much to all the patrons here for supporting the channel on patreon.com/flyingpigunited. As a thank you, all you legends will be appearing on this outro list. Get in there. Once again, thank you to all the YouTube members, but one of the best ways you can support the channel is on patreon.com, so check it out. Patreon.com/flyingpigunited. And once again, a big thank you to all the legends that do support the channel.